2020, I interviewed Miss Rita Ayala Cota, my sister-in-law mother, on the rituals of her family in Caldwell, Idaho. I went to visit my brother-in-law and sister-in-law this week and decided to interview Miss Ayala Cota about a family ritual. Family rituals are when the family has a tradition of something they do that is passed down from generation to generation. Miss Ayala Cota ritual is of a praying altar of family members that passed away. When a family member passes away, they add a picture of the deceased to the praying altar, almost like the movie Coco, but it is an everyday thing, not just on Dia de las Muertas. The praying altar was started by Jesus Echavarria, Miss Rita Ayala Cota's grandfather, and it was started years before Miss Ayala Cota was born. She was born in 1953, and the prayer altar was there when she was younger, so over 67 years. Mr. Jesus Echavarria was in Guadalupe, California when he started the praying altar. People would come from all over California, and they would call him to heal them with his healing hands. He would go to the altar every day and pray to God about his hands. Miss Ayala Cota and family believed that her grandfather, Mr. Echavarria, would speak to God at his altar so he would have his hands blessed to heal people. They call him the faith healer. Mr. Jesus Echavarria would take people in the altar room and heal their bodies around the altar. All of the adults and the children would have to leave out of the house and play outside, but they had to be quiet. Also, when he prays to the altar, everyone would have to leave the house to keep the house quiet while he prays. The picture, not that one. When Mr. Jesus Echavarria passed away, he was known around the town, and they shut down the whole town to have his funeral and drove around town to escort his body to his final resting place. Miss Ayala Cota, grandmother, Conception Echavarria, did medicine with different herbs with Indian rituals but she did not share the recipes with her family. The praying altar is now with Miss Ayala Cota's brother and sister-in-law, Raymond and Diane Echavarria, in Meridian, Idaho. Once a year, Mr. Raymond Echavarria would get the church to bless the altar after they finished cleaning it. Once a year, the family members would take down the saints and pictures, everything around and in the altar to clean it. The person that is in charge of the altar will have a dream and decide what color to paint the altar for that year. The different colors mean different things. Children of the family would dress up like the wise men and carry a baby Jesus to the altar. Miss Ayala Cota does not know who would take over the altar after Raymond and Diane. She does not know if Raymond and Diane children would take over, but she said the altar might go back to the family members where it was started from in Guadalupe, California. Miss Ayala Cota is a Christian woman that is the mother of my sister-in-law. I'm emotionally attached to her because she is a family member. She spoke proudly of her grandfather and grandmother and what they did as a family. Miss Ayala Cota was passionate about her history and telling me about her grandfather and grandmother. It reminded me of my husband's family ritual that he has of his great-grandfather that passed away in 1955 of a hat. The theory that relates to the relationship of Miss Ayala Cota and myself is communication accommodation theory. A communication accommodation theory explains how verbal communication operates both to connect and separate people. Even though Miss Ayala Cote and I are from different generation and ethnicity, we find a connection in our life that relates to each other. Her praying altar and my husband's has connected the two of us through our stories. It also connected us through our language. Even though I do not speak Spanish, I have a few Spanish words in my paper because I wanted to relate and connect with her, so I diverged with her by making my speech style like hers. Thank you.